श्वास श्वास हनुमान, सो हम है जो, तो हम है जो हृदय बसहि हनुमान, हृदय बसहि हनुमान, हृदय बसहि हनुमान।
Mr. Urvesh Bhai.
Namaste, Guruji. How are you?
Very good, very good.
You've been traveling a lot?
No, not so much. Just between Delhi and Noida.
Rishikesh.
Sorry, Noida and Rishikesh. So we are at 7 p.m. Those who can get on the video should come on the video. And those who can't, they can remain how they are. We just would let us. Namaste.
Namaskar.
Namaste.
Hello, Urvesh Bhai.
Namaste.
Yes.
So let
Namaste,
us
Achinai.
let us for a minute or two tune in, bring our awareness to the flow of our breath, bring ourselves from wherever our mind is, bring that mind to ourselves, to this moment, to the space that our body occupies, deep into Ishvara. Allow the sound of Om to rise within us in deep silence from within, just for a minute. Namaste once again to each one of us, from each one of us. It's beautiful. We continue our journey. Now 6 years, sixth year going on. Archana ji reminded me today. And we shall be celebrating our 6th year, possibly at her home, 24th May almost a month down the line, we'll be doing that. So on this journey, we have repeated many things over and over again. So even if we don't consciously remember each and everything in that details, doesn't matter. There will be a certain impression sitting within our mind field, which will continue to build up and sprout. So today, last time we were speaking about Ishvara Pranidhana. We will today again dwell upon it, but even before that, we begin with the first Doha of Hanuman Chalisa. Who will pronounce it? Archana ji or Urvesh Bhai? The first Doha.
I can do it, I think.
Yes.
मैंने बहुत दिनों से नहीं, मतलब मैं अपना आपसे तो बोलती हूँ पर सबके सामने नहीं बोलती.
Just the first one.
बहुत सुंदर है. श्री गुरु चरण, right? श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधार वरनौ रघुबर विमल जसु जोदायक फलचार.
Beautiful. And you even sung it. It's a song, actually. How you beautifully said it. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj Nijman Mukur Sudhar. Sometimes we cannot go beyond the first line, the first word. And this is where our journey is. And this is what makes our journey so special. That the whole of the next maybe 100 weeks will be only about this one line. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raj Nijman Mukur Sudhar. Nijman Mukur Sudhar. Cleanse the mirror of my mind. Cleansing the mirror of my mind with the golden dust of the golden pollen dust of the lotus feet of Sri Guru. Sri Guru. And so there is an instruction to cleanse the mirror of the mind. Now, how do we do it? So we looked for the Sri Guru. So where is the Sri Guru? So I would go, if I'm the one who is sharing, I would go to my Guru Swami Veda. But my Guru Swami Veda, but who is he referring to? Swami Rama. Swami Rama, who is he referring to? Shankaracharya, Bengali Baba, going up to Shankaracharya, going up to Vyas, going up to Patanjali, going up to Hiranyagarbha. This is the Sri Guru. And the text that we have chosen is the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, which talks of Ashtanga Raj Yoga as the method of cleansing the mind. Yoga Chitta Vritta Nirodha. He is defined yoga to be the cleansing of the mind, to be harmonizing of the mind. And mind has 3 layers of things to be cleansed. One is mala, the maculations of the mind, the macula of the mind, like what comes up on our tongue every morning, the thick coat, the macula that comes from within in the mind. It comes up from within the mind, the dirt. It is not only the dirt, it also covers. But here we'll say it is the dirt. So dirt is one thing that we remove from the mind. The other thing is avaran, veiling of the mind. So this tongue is covered by the lips, by the mouth. The tongue is also covered by the dirt. It is also covered by the lip. So we will look at what are the veils on the mind. And third is spandana, vikalpa. That is, if somebody throws a stone into a lake of water, there are ripples. So when something from outside or inside gets thrown, gets as if a stone has been thrown into the lake of mind, there are ripples, those disturbance. These are the three types of imperfections of the mind that we need to work. If we work on that and make the mind the way it is referred to, Nijman Mukur Sudhari, a repaired, restored, beautiful mind, what will happen? We will be able to perceive the Most High, will be able to perceive Hanumanji or Brahman or Paramatman right in the center of our being, in the heart of our being. We shall be able to see that, we shall be able to perceive. And not only that, not only will that happen, that happens at the end. Right in the beginning, it said, Jodayak Phalchar. We'll perceive that, and we will know that we have perceived him by the fact that we get the four fruits in our hands. By getting those four fruits in our hands, we will know that that he is near. He has seen us. We have seen him. Most of our conversations will dwell in the realm of understanding, and we will have to understand it in our own way, because we will gradually go beyond words, though we will be using words. So we decided to cleanse our minds. That decision we took. How? Through Sri Guru. Now, where is that Sri Guru? So we said that, okay, there will be many gurus. Everyone has a guru. Everyone relates to someone or the other as the guru, and they may not relate to so-called my guru as the Sri Guru. Possible. But we all relate to Ishvara as the guru. We find that definition in Yoga Sutra itself. And we studied that last time, that Ishvara is the guru of all gurus. So what has Ishvara conveyed through the guru minds? We'll see how guru minds take place, how Ishvara gets incarnated in guru minds, how it happens. But what has been conveyed, what do we gather? With that dust, we cleanse the mirror of the mind. So in that dust, one pinch of that dust guides us to Ishvara Pranidhana. That if we completely have a sense of surrender, but we'll understand what does that mean, to Ishvara, then everything will become easy. So this is the shortcut. We just need a sense of Ishvara. We need a faith in Ishvara. And with that faith, with that Shraddha, once we practice Ishvara Pranidhana, the way our Guru tradition has explained it to us, Kaivalya, liberation, or whatever we want, will become totally easy. So that is where we covered it up. Varnau Raghubar. So the meaning of that Doha is evident, that I cleanse the mirror of my mind with the pollen dust of the lotus feet of my Guru, Sri Guru. And having done that, I'm able to behold the blemishless wonder of the blemishless lustre, fame of the highest one, Raghuvar. Who is the giver of the four fruits? Here, the blemishless lustre is Hanumanji himself, who is the giver of the four fruits of life, Jodayak Phalchar. So we reduce the whole thing into what do we have to do? Four fruits of life, he is the giver, so he will give. So that's his job. Let it be with him. We will perceive the blemishless lustre when we will perceive, when we will see, we will see. And nothing to do in that. What we need to do is pointedly cleansing the mirror of the mind with the dust of Guru's feet. Earlier, we have also discovered or shared between us that the lotus feet of the Guru are the two circles of lotus petals within the Sri Chakra. And the dust from those lotus feet are those 24 qualities to be imbibed, to be absorbed, to be brought in. Actually, the peak of that quality, one of the petals is Ishwar Pranidhan. It is at the peak of all the qualities, Ishwar Pranidhan. But something, not I will say something, but I will say I was guided by my own inner self to start our journey with Ishwar Pranidhan. This is a big dare, a big dare. And we can, together we have to prove ourselves right in this dare, because Ishwar Pranidhan is built up with the understanding of Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, this, that. And you come up to a point where you can do Ishwar Pranidhan. But I had this inner voice saying that we are ready for Ishwar Pranidhan. We simply need to surrender at the feet of God, and He will take care. So we have begun our journey from this point. In fact, Ishvara is the bindu, is the center point of the whole of Sri Chakra. And those who are the worshipper of Sri Chakra, like Urvesh Bhai, like Nevaji, also Anupma ji, they would know that the worship offered to Sri Chakra has to begin from the center and come outward to the square. The worship method is from the center to the square. It is called Srishti Krama. Those who are in life, who want to enjoy a fulfilling life, have to worship the Sri Chakra in this order, from the bindu, from the center to outside. Those who are in the process of becoming a monk, in the process of becoming a sannyasi, those who are renunciates begin to worship from the square and go to the bindu. That's called Sanghar Krama. They are in that way destroying not destroying, but closing their life from outside and going inward. But we who live in the world, who need to enjoy our lives, we need to have a fulfilling life. We need to enjoy all the four fruits of life. We have not given up on life. We begin from the bindu to outside. And that is why this was another reason why I chose that we'll begin from there. So I have made some notes, handwritten notes. This time they are more kitcher pitcher, but they are notes. Someone someday will help make better notes out of that. For the time being, I keep them in front of us so that we are able to, this is, so how do I take it here? So this one is, you can say, a revision from the last one. And the revision is, Ishvara Pranidhan means being lovingly in the presence of God. Being lovingly in the presence of God. Now, how will this word lovingly, I put two hearts there. How will lovingly happen? Being in the presence of God, everybody knows God is everywhere. So we are in the presence of God. It still doesn't evoke love. It is still not Ishwar Pranidhan. Just knowing that there is God all around and in every heart does not make it Ishwar Pranidhan. We don't achieve anything there. Lovingly will only happen when we use the word my God before that. My Ishvara. Not my Ishta, but my Ishka. My love. When we know that God is love and love is God, then love is a synonym of God. When we say my love and then relate with God, that is the first step of Ishwar Pranidhan. It looks like a tall order, but please park it in your mind that here we are in a process of, we have to practice to reach there. It is right in the text, and we'll come to that Ishvara is not a matter of practice. It's a matter of fact. He's there or she is there. It's a neutral word, but we use him, we always use for neutral words also, we use the masculine. It is we don't use the feminine pronoun for neutral words. So we say that is a fact. Ishvara is everywhere, and Ishvara is there. But Pranidhan, to bring ourselves in front, in the presence of that, to experience the presence of God, this needs practice. And therefore, we have chosen this as a practice. And we had seen that we will, probably I will go back to that one more time. We knew that we have to engage our 5 important faculties or 5 important dimensions of our mind to grasp. Just as a hand has 5 fingers, without the 5 fingers, how will you hold anything? You can't hold anything without the 5 fingers. Similarly, the 5 fingers of the mind with which we will be able to hold Ishvara, and therefore we need to practice and strengthen these 5 fingers. Sometimes when we have so many kinds of carpal tunnel syndrome and things like that, there is pain in the hands or rheumatoid arthritis, you can't hold even a glass of water. But then when you train your fingers again, you get back the strength in your hands. Similarly, these 5 fingers are Shraddha, faith. Strength, we have to apply our strength in there. Mindfulness, Smriti, we need to remember. We need to remember. Samadhi here means meditation. We have to meditate. And pragya, wisdom. Our whole wisdom has to be tuned towards holding the presence of God, holding God in our fist. With these 5 fingers, we shall be able to hold on to God. And we knew that Ishvara is a special Purusha. He is unsmeared by any impact of karma. In him is the seed of all knowledge. He is the Guru even of the first. His name is Om. Om is his name. We'll go in details today. And the japa of that name, repetition of that name, cultivating its meaning within us, that is called Swadhyaya. That is called Ishwar Pranidhan. Ishwar Pranidhan is, what is Ishwar Pranidhan? Remembrance, repetition of his name while cultivating the meaning of that name is him. So impressing upon the mind the presence of God again, an impression that he's there, he is watching. In whichever way, we have to innovate our own ways to allow my love to take place in my life, my love to have a space in my life, in my mind at least. In my mind, he is always there as the indweller. And then all impediments inside or outside are removed, and the conscious self shines forth. That's the result of this, etc. Then we had seen how gazing at the sky, feeling the breeze on your cheeks, all the good things are all parts of practices, and how we call out the name in such a way that all 70 trillion cells in our body, as if they are all calling out the name. So we need to have the practice, the awareness from the tip of the toe to the tip of the hair, that when we close our eyes, that we are aware of the whole being. And this whole being is calling out the name. This practice. And also to create a small altar, etc., offer some pujas. This we had seen. Here I will pause and just ask, in this last week, did it remain as a memory within the week, or it was totally washed out? We need to be honest. We can also say it was washed out, no problem. But was it totally washed out and we could not remember? Or was some faint memory that we need to do Ishwar Pranidhan that we need to do Om, or we did couple of times or not?
It was in full memory, Pavanji, constantly reminding. Yes, it was very much. It continues to be very much present.
Fantastic. Then the work is done. Then it is working. And as we go further, we will keep on repeating. We'll keep going backward, then forward, then backward and forward. We are together. We'll make sure that we get it. No problem at all. And you are writing, Priya, that can we make it easier and express it as godliness? It is not godliness. God and godliness are two different things. There could be godliness also in human beings, or there could be some qualities which are godly. But this is not godliness at all. It is directly Ishvara. And I will come to it. Ishvara, a good translation of Ishvara is not God either. But almost we can say, if we have to do a comparative religious theological comparison, then yes, what to do? Ishvara has to be translated as God, but we can also take Ishvara as Ishvara. And we'll come to that. And godliness, not at all. When we that Ishvara, that presence, we are putting ourselves in that presence of Ishvara. Godliness is a quality that will seep into us any which ways. And what will constitute godliness? All the 24 petals, when they become active to whatever extent, then you can say we have expressed godliness. So I'm very glad that over this period of time, we have been able to define what we want to do. Just saying godliness, then how do you define godliness? Smiling and being meek and doing a lot of puja, does that mean godliness? Not at all. 24 petals, ahimsa, satya, asteya, aparigraha, brahmacharya, shauch, santosh, etc. Tapaswadhyay, Ishwar Pranidhana. All of them, when they make their space and they express themselves as our natural qualities, they are natural to us and they have to express naturally, then that becomes godliness. All right, let's move to the next. All those who are working would know how we do slide presentation, but I will do this. I would have got very low marks if I was making these slides in the company and presenting it like this. But you are all kind. You are able to bear with my handwriting. And I will just remove everything from here. So, Ishwar Pranidhana. Now, Ishwar Pranidhana, as a word, Ishwara, or Ishwar Pranidhana itself, as a word, appears 4 times in the Yoga Sutras. Out of 196 aphorisms, it is a rarity in any sutra literature for a word to repeat. Here, Maharishi Patanjali not only repeated it, he repeated it 4 times. 4 times it has been repeated. I have taken here the context of Ishwar Pranidhana as given in Sutra 123. 123. There, you can always read. If you have, it would be a good idea to buy a fairly okay commentary on the Yoga Sutras and get familiar with it. You will enjoy it, but it is not compulsory at all. I will be doing my best to bring most simplified notes from there. So Ishwar Pranidhana, I have written here, being in the loving presence of God. Being lovingly in the presence of God, being in the loving presence of God, whichever way. The big thing is, in the commentary on Ishwar Pranidhana, Sage Vyas goes ahead and states this statement, he makes a statement. He's saying that Ishvara or God is won over and turns towards the yogi, favors him or her with his grace. It's a long one, but I've just. So he says that by the practice of Ishwar Pranidhana, God is won over and he turns his gaze towards the yogi, turns towards the one who is practicing Ishwar Pranidhana and favors him with his grace. See, if you get into the semantics of it and do a rational understanding of it, it will be a long debate of who this Ishvara is. Why should he be doing favoritism to those who do Ishwar Pranidhana, not to those who don't do it? Then what kind of a grace he favors them with? It seems he loves adoration and he is also like a human being sitting in the sky. All these kinds of counter questions will arise. They have been here. You just have to trust me that all these questions have been well answered and taken care of. For now, have faith in this, that the one to whom we are remembering, to whom we are bringing in our remembrance, or to whom we bring ourselves and present, such one is waiting for us the moment we get into his gaze, her gaze. However, Ishwar is Ishwar, the feminine is Ishwari. In Sri Sukta, she is referred as Ishwari. In Shiva is Shiva, and then in Tantra, she is referred to as Shiva. Also the same, feminine, masculine, however you wish. Or those who are from other traditions, then other names, Jesus, etc., can be taken as a name. So here, when you practice this, then that God is won over, as if with love, he responds to that love and he turns towards the yogi. A big gift. Let us not doubt this statement because it is given by Vyas for the time being. We will sometime in future debate on this, or we can debate separately on this. Right now, I'm presuming that we trust completely in Sage Vyas who's saying this. Then Ishwar Pranidhana is a special kind of devotion. Bhakti Vishesha. It's a special kind of devotion. There are other types of devotion. There are 9 types of devotion. Navadha Bhakti. Ishwar Pranidhan is none of those 9 or all of those 9 put together. But we will put that aside. It's a special kind of devotion. So it is not exactly the devotion as we practice in the world, in the bhakti world, the way bhakti is practiced. It is not that. It is much more subtle, totally in the mind. Nothing much to do with externals. Though we will be doing something external, like a small altar, things like that, they're like 5% of the total Ishwar Pranidhana. 95% is in our minds. So it's a special kind of devotion. And it is the practice, Ishwar Pranidhana is a practice is surrendering all practices and all actions, all kriya, all karma, and their fruits unto the Supreme Guru. Ishvara is the Guru. So all practices, everything that you do, all your pujas, all your sadhanas, all your karma are all duty-related actions. Archana ji has to fly here and there and do all her duties, all of that. As a mother, Niva ji has to take care of her mother, of her daughters, all our karma. So see the differentiation there. All kriya, all karma, all of them along with their fruits, all in front of Ishvara. But our very own, very loving Murari Bapu says, you can offer all the fruits to Ishvara. Don't have any attachment to that. But you are allowed to enjoy the rasa. the nectar of that fruit you can enjoy. Murari Bapu says that. So the nectar of the fruit is, well, the process of doing it. There will be a certain joy that is generated just by doing something for God. Suppose you're polishing your shoes also for God, and you are eating also for Him, you're sleeping, you're resting, you're taking care of all for Him or her. There will be a certain joy that will happen. That is the rasa. That's the nectar of Ishwar Pranidhana. That's the nectar of the fruit that will arise out of that. That nectar we are allowed to enjoy ourselves. In fact, I go a step further. One of the texts says, for Ishwar Pranidhana, one of the texts says that those who do some yajna, suppose they do a yajna, like we do a yajna, I'm going to actually change the sankalpa of our yajna now on, after I've read that. You do a yajna with a sankalpa. I'm doing this yajna with the sankalpa of may we all become great and may we all become healthy. All the people in Srikula should become happy, abundant. May all their problems be solved. May the world become more peaceful and the birds fly peacefully. We do that sankalpa. And then we say, now we place it at your feet. At the subtlest level, and then we say, idam na mama, this is yours, it is not mine. We say that. One of the commentators says that doing this is like offering a bowl of kheer, rice porridge, or a sweet dish, offering a bowl of kheer which has first been licked by a dog. It's a very strong statement. As if a dog has already licked that kheer, and now we are wanting to eat it or offer it to God. Because our desires have touched it. No desire. I'm doing this yajna for your pleasure, my Lord. What you will do with it, it is yours. Ishwar Pranidhana. From now on in our yajna, none of these kind of sankalpa will be included. Not at all. Even earlier I used to feel uncomfortable, but I never had this. Actually, I would say I never applied my mind to change the sankalpa because that's the standard sankalpa. And I would say, well, our great forefathers made that sankalpa in Sanskrit. Let it be so. But those sankalpas are for very low order thinking, low order grihastha who are in homes running their houses, who go to God to get something. We are not going to God to get something. We are not going to God to get anything. We are going to God to place ourselves at His feet. Forget about taking anything from Him. May He receive us, allow us to hang in around Him. That's it. So what sankalpa will we make in it? Only we'll say that, God, we are doing this so you become happy. So if you become happy, obviously our love will be two-way. Yes, Urvesh bhai, did you say something?
Yes, I just wanted to ask a question. That this thing was running in my mind since yesterday, and about something and somebody I was thinking about. So, just wanted to ask you that if we offer our action in the obligation as a sankalpa, that I have done this for somebody or I have done this act, but it is not mine anymore. I give it to you or I give it away in Agni as idam Agni idam namama. Thus, that becomes a better sankalpa because we are giving away our actions now.
Yes, but it should become such by our practice when we become advanced or when we really get immersed in Ishwar Pranidhana, even that sankalpa becomes nursery like kindergarten because it is anyway for him. A mother doesn't cook food and say, this I have cooked for you, my child, not for myself. Anyway, she is cooking only for the child to take the tiffin to school and be happy. Leftover, she will eat.
No, this was in regard with if we want to get rid of accumulated
Yes,
worships,
yes.
what we have.
Only for
So
the
then
pleasure.
only for
Guru,
the pleasure. Yeah.
Shri Guru Prityarthe Idam Namama.
Yeah.
Because all to be offered there. We'll see that. Let's just run through it. And so Pranidhana. No? All sentiments and all states of consciousness. Wow. Vyas has said this, that all sentiments, all emotions, anger, joy, everything goes to Ishvara. All states of consciousness, waking, sleeping, dreaming, all states, Turiya, all the states, all at his feet. And he states that Pranidhana is a cultivated sentiment, bhavana. Those who understand the word bhavana, sentiment, for Emma also, if she could pick up the word bhavana, bhav means sentiment. It's a close translation, sentiment, a feeling, a state of being. Pranidhana is a state, a cultivated state of being. It is not natural. It is not natural. The sages accept it. It is a cultivated state of being. And another example I just took from Bhagavad Gita, it said, Tasmat pranamya pranidhaya kayam. Tasmat. After that, Arjuna did namaste, pranam to Krishna, and pranidhaya kayam, and prostrated, brought his body at his feet. That's pranidhan. How do we understand pranidhan is deep respect, loving respect to God, and total offering in deep humility at his feet. The Pranidhan word is in Bhagavad Gita. So, place oneself at the disposal of God, even though one will not know God until after Samadhi. Though we will not know God. How do we know Him? We can't know Him. And yet we are placing our whole being at His service. That is where Hanumanji comes in. Ishwar Pranidhan. Example of Ishwar Pranidhan? Bhagwan Hanumanji. Shri Hanuman is Ishwar Pranidhan. Only and only Ram. He has no business of his own. Ram kaj karve ko atur. Finish. Nothing else. And Pranidhan has to be mental, verbal, and physical. We have to go deep into that. Physical, our body, all the things that we can do, our resources, all the money things that we have earned, mental, all the qualities we have, all the skills we have, verbal, the speech that we can speak, all these have to be brought into the service of mankind, which is God. Mankind is the expression of God's body, the whole of mankind, whole of humanity. Not, and also Pranidhan, very, the sages have not left any point. They say, normally what we do something and then we say, I offer it to you, Bhagwan. He says, not merely after the act, but before and while doing the act, everything goes to him. We have to consciously, probably we'll have to read this note a couple of times when you get invoking the presence of God through Om. So you say, Om, I'm going to do that. But it's not, it's like how you train a young child to do something and then it becomes automatic. How you starting driving a car, then you have to remember, I have to turn the key on, then number 2, I have to do the clutch and that. This will become natural when the chant of Om, the name Om goes on, and everything. You're beginning to drink water, Om, and you're drinking water. While drinking water, Om, when you keep the glass down, Om. All gone to him. Through just one syllable, everything is transferred immediately to the cloud. How we can compare it to transferring every data to cloud? Basically that. Those who don't understand computer science cannot understand what do you mean by cloud? How can data get into cloud? Exactly, the data gets into cloud. If you're connected to that, you have a server, you have space, it will go in. We have to have we don't have to have any local storage. As low as possible, the local storage, everything else, Google Pixel, every data is in the Google. Therefore, that phone has, it's a good example. How do we consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, in all the states of being, all data, all goes into the cloud. That cloud is that, okay? And it is called abhidhyana. Abhidhyana, not only dhyan, not only remembering, but abhidhyana is a word used in classical Sanskrit, it means will and thought directed towards him. When our will and thought, our intentions and intent and thoughts are all directed towards him, a two-way process happens. The yogi is directing his will and thoughts, or her will and thoughts, towards God, and from other side, God's grace begins to flow. A current begins to run between God and you. We have, or I, some time ago, I presented the Dharma Veena with these two tamburas, God and self. Like that, between these two, there is a current, there is a sound that starts happening. Mundak Upanishad. Mundak Upanishad is a very complex Upanishad. It is meant for Mundakas. Mundas means those with a skull. Munda means skull. So Mundak Upanishad is the Upanishad of the skulls. That means those who have shaved their hair. That means those who are sannyasis, those who have renounced. It's the Upanishad for the Mundaks. In the Mundak, one of the verses says, whomever he chooses, by him is he to be found. Unto him, this self of his own reveals his person. So it's a two-way. The fact that we are discussing Ishvara, the very fact that we are together, means that he has chosen us. Have firm faith in it. Otherwise, we would not be discussing Ishwar Pranidhana. So a little awareness, and he will reveal himself to us. It is only whom he will choose him. Are you with me? Are you with me on this? It is only for the chosen by him. Now, why did he choose us? Big story. Let's keep it aside. But he has chosen us. If he did not choose us, we would not be getting inside Ishwar Pranidhan the way we are getting in. We would not have chosen Ishwar Pranidhan as our central must. We will hold on to this as our life ring. This is our life ring. Nothing else. Everything else will manage. But Ishwar Pranidhan will hang on to that. So that gives a lot of solace that even if I don't understand him, even if I'm not able to, he has chosen us. He will make a way for me to understand, if needed to understand, and to give that love in my heart, whatever, that state. And therefore, I have also quoted here, Soi jane jehi deh, dehu janai, janat tumhai ho jai. Ramcharitmanas. Only he knows whom you choose to make him know, make yourself known. And knowing you, he becomes you. One who knows you becomes you. That's the power of this knowledge. For any other knowledge, the knowledge and the knower remains separate. If you learn tomorrow quantum physics or law, so if Archana ji studies law, she understands law. She gains the knowledge of law. The knowledge of law and herself don't become one. She doesn't become a law. She becomes a lawyer. She doesn't become the law. Here it says, once you know him, you become him only. It's such a knowledge. And it happens only by his grace that we know. And his grace is upon us. And then I've written here, God graces us through two things, Nirman Kaya and Nirman Chitta. This is also a part of the Buddhist philosophy. Nirman Kaya, Nirman Chitta. Nirman means produce, to create. You can say created body, created mind, or produced body or produced mind. What does that mean? That God will grace us through any body, any body. In that body, God will be embodied in that body, and we will feel the grace. That body will work for us. It could be a doctor, it could be a lawyer, somebody. God's grace will flow through a nirman, a produced body structure. And nirman chitta, it's even more subtle. Nirman chitta is the produced mind. God can enter anyone's mind and speak to us, convey to us, pour his grace to us. That mind could be the Guru's mind, who is in body. It could be the Guru's body, Nirman Kaya. It could be a friend who is giving us an advice. God will come through that and speak to us. And it is all going to be totally, totally experiential. I will pause here for just 1 minute, just in case there is too much that I have conveyed. Any thought or any question that sparks. Nivaji, are you on the same page?
Yes, Pavanji, what is your viewpoint on Aham Pratibimba? When we talk about Pratibimba, I am your reflection. When we talk about
Why
this
not?
grace.
Why not? Anything.
Mm.
Then all these will come under that. Or what is your,
Yes.
from which space are you connecting? If I am your Pratibimba, then I must work like you. I must act like you. I must act in accordance. If you move your hand, I move my hand. That means if I'm moving my hand, you are moving your hand. I'm your Pratibimba. A reflection doesn't move the hand. It is the main person who is moving the hand. So if I have done this, he has done that, and I've done that. And it will extend to everybody. If Aham Pratibimba Tattvamasi, everybody is a Pratibimba. So all the movements. And therefore, when there is a mess in our relationship, there is chaos, somebody is shouting, somebody is this, that, there is confusion. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Bhranti Rupeni Sanstita. It is she acting out there. At no point in time will doubt this is not God. Probably God has gone to sleep. That's why I'm facing so much of difficulties. So Aham Pratibimba is a great alamban. Why not? Of course. Of course.
Thank you.
Ashna, is it too much of a bouncer?
No, it's actually not.
Fantastic. I feel complimented for the
No,
first
yeah,
time.
yeah. Because whatever you're saying, just loving what you're doing is something that I'm really enjoying.
Oh, no.
Like you say, you have faith in God, you love God. Of course, it's coming from within because there is so much of grace that is on me at this point in time, and always has been because it's never really, I've not missed out on anything. And
Yes.
all the things that you've written where we don't know God, but there is faith, as you said.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
nobody's seen him or her, but there's faith.
Yes.
And grace comes to you through people. I mean, I know I couldn't walk in the airport, and then this buggy just came and he said, I said, can I sit on it? Because everybody was refusing, ye booked hai, ye hai, wo hai. And it's almost a 2 kilometer walk from where the plane drops you to where the baggage is.
Yes.
And he said, yeah, sit. And then he turned and he started going towards. I said, but don't you want to take anything else? Anyone else? And he said, no, I'm going home. I just saw you. I thought I'll take you. And I thought, my God, how can that be that this
Yes.
one man just came here, took me, and is now taking me back? So, what is this? This is.
I
It,
get goosebumps while you're saying this.
I get goosebumps when it happens to me because it has. I,
But
I mean,
Beautiful.
I can't believe that somebody just he just came and he just took me and everyone was looking at अकेले कैसे जा रही है buggy में, but he said it's my duty's over, I just came here.
now you know that you have given a direct proof of Nirman
Yeah,
Kaya.
yeah,
Nirman Kaya. In a
yes,
body form he will come.
yeah, yeah,
And he cannot carry you in his arms. So it's like
yes,
almost he's taken in your arms. Come,
yes.
my daughter, I will drop you there.
I
You're
was
feeling
scared to
tired.
ask him his name. I thought कहीं बोल देंगे कि मेरा नाम पवन है or something, तो I'll probably start crying only. I said thank you so much, and
Yes. How beautiful. How
so
beautiful.
everything you've written here resonates with me totally.
Yes. Yes.
There are things which are Yeah, there is faith. I'm not going to say anything
How
else.
beautiful. And once faith, once Shraddha, you'll be able to apply your strength, virya, you'll be able to put your memory in it because there is faith and there is love. What you love is always in your mind, and
Yeah.
then you will meditate. That's a part of practice. And pragya, you'll try to you'll try to throw the light of your wisdom on events in life and try and discover him. And then you'll find you're discovering him everywhere, that memory remains with you, and
Yes.
he needs to prove his
Absolutely.
presence only once. For
Once.
life you will remember that Nirman Kaya is right,
Yeah.
Nirman Chitta is right. Oh, beautiful. So here I was trying to do some designing with Om. So it is said that Om is his name. Hmm. We'll go a little deeper into it, just a little bit, so we get a hang of it. We are already at 7:54, so maybe I'll take just 5-10 minutes extra if it's possible. Everybody hangs in. If you have to drop off or leave, you can always watch the YouTube later on. Those who stay will continue. So the name Om, Om is called Pranava. Pranava. Now, there are a couple of meaning of these words, Pranava. One meaning is by which God is eulogized, by which God is praised, or called, you can say that. Now, Pranava, when there is another way to break it, because everybody, all the grammarians have worked on it. In one of the ways in which Pranava is broken, it means to do Pranidhan. But Pranidhan of what? Pranidhan means to bring something in the presence of the other, to bring someone in the presence of other. Look at the beauty of it. The commentator is writing that here the meaning pranidhan has to be understood that by which God is brought in your presence. Do you understand my point? We want to get into presence of God. But Om is the word by which God is brought near, close into the presence of your mind. How else will you bring it? And by which God protects and leads to liberation. This also is the meaning of word pranava. And it is said that tasya vachaka pranava, his name, how he is called is by pranava. Pranava means Om. A lot on Om has been written. Whole of Mandukya Upanishad, Swami Rama's commentary, all commentaries are there to be seen. We will not mess our heads with too much of data. We are okay with fact that his name is Om. It's good enough for us. Now, it is said, one of the commentators is writing, the only way to practice pranidhan is by the name Om. Only way to practice pranidhan is by the name Naam. Some people may here say that I believe in Ram. The name that I have taken is of Ram or Hari or Krishna or some other name or Shiva. That also, yes. But in the context of Yoga Sutra, it is said this has to be to bring God into your mind comprehensively is only via a name. How? So somebody says that there are some experiences which do not need a name, and you can experience that. For example, the sky is blue. So the blueness of the sky doesn't need to be a name. You can call it anything. Even if you don't call it by any name, your eyes will still be experiencing the blueness of the sky or the sweetness of chocolate. A child doesn't need any name for that. It can call mum, 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 ko, 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 anything it will say, but it enjoys the experience. Then there are other set of experiences which cannot be experienced without a name ascribed to it. For example, John is John's son is Jack. Now, Jack's father is John. You cannot, unless until you have this word John and Jack, John and father, sorry, son and father, you will not be able to understand who these two people are between themselves. Without the word, this cannot be experienced. So what it means is that because God is beyond our senses, see, Son, Father, these are beyond our senses. We cannot sense whether these two guys are brothers or friends or father or employee. How will we sense it? None of our 10 senses can figure that out, or five sense of uh, knowledge will not figure this out. Therefore, those things that cannot be figured out by senses need a word. All right. So that, therefore, the commentators say that a word is needed to connect with God. But this name God, this name Om, is not as if you could call God by any other name. They go a little further. And then there's a big discussion. Why can't we call another name for God? How can we say that Om is the only sound that ascribes to God? Big communication. But here it says that God, Ishvara, and Om are like lamp and its light. They are inseparable. They are one. The sound Om. Therefore, when you say the sound Om, you are touching God by the tip of your tongue, that the sound reaches your ears, through your ears. He is all there. The presence instantly happens as if it's a password. But the engagement of the mind has to be. So Om is equal to, is also means Brahman. It means acceptance, full acceptance. Yes. And Om is genderless. It is neither male nor female. And when we go, what is Om? Then there is a root of Om. Av is the root from where Om comes. And that Av itself has 36 meanings. I'll share some of the meanings I just took up. And other one is Aap. Aap. In Hindi, we call Aap. Aap means you. Aap is a root word in Sanskrit, and it just means to pervade. The commentator says that for Om, this root is better suited because it is the name of a all-pervading, all-pervasive presence of God. It is from that. Now we have, it is said that what is Ishwar Pranidhana? Tat japa tadarth bhavanam. That is Ishwar Pranidhan. To repeat the name and to feel the meaning of that name. That's all is Ishwar Pranidhan. Then through that, everything else happens to bring into his presence all the things that, all of that. So, japa, japa. Japa is said as impressing upon mind by silent recitation. You're creating a groove in the mind again and again. That leads to a certain amount of stillness and stability. This you will yourself experience. By repeating this, you come to a state of stillness and stability, and the mind becomes more one-pointed. And I've written here, Om does not equal to God, which means the translation of Om is not God. God is not the translation of Om. Om is God. You can put it that way. Ishvara is Om. They are inseparable. It is not as if Ishvara, like water. Translation of water is aqua, pani, jal, aap. But translation of Ishvara is not God. Om is the experiential translation, you can say. Om is not God. It's just not another word for God, but it is how we experience God in our mind. This and how over a period of time the sound itself drops. No? The sound of Om is at 4 levels. We have already done it in the past. Vaikhari, the articulated speech. Madhyama, the mentally verbalized. When we are speaking, our words are articulated. That's called the scattered speech, Vaikhari, out there. Then Madhyama, it's in the throat. It's mentally articulated, mentally verbalized. It's only in the mind that the words and the sentences have been formed. Pashyanti, it's vibrational. At the level of heart, we just know we have to say this. We have not yet made sentences out of that. And Para is the highest, beyond the mind. It's from somewhere that spandan, that impulse comes in to come into us, and we start getting an urge to speak. Then we mentally verbalize it, and we then articulate that. Similarly, Om is a process of going backward. So loud chanting of Om in very loving way, or we'll learn it in different ways. Loud chanting of Om, going into mental chanting of Om, going deeper into the heart level, and dropping and just being still in the presence of God. When you know that He's there, what use is there to call? He's there. So to feel that He's there, to trust and believe He's there, and He will be there. It is said that with the unified mind, His power is drawn into the mind. With the unified mind, with a with a mind which is concentrated, with emotions together, when you call the word Om, it is as if you're like a syringe, you are sucking His presence into your mind. This is what I have put it as my example, that when you say Om, it is as if you're pulling the syringe, and the presence of God is drawn into your mind. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Yogi Yagnavalkya, he's one of our ancestors. I belong to the Yagnavalkya tradition. That is where I get my name Mishra from. He was a great sage 7,000 years ago in that region of Mithila. And he writes this: He is the divine being, Deva, with intangible form, to be grasped only by intent concentration with unified mind. His name is Om. Remembered, called by this name, pleased, He confers grace. When you remember or call Him by this name, He is pleased and He confers grace. So these are, authorities who have signed off on it. Let's trust them. And so after Para, we get into the silence, and Swami Veda, he again and again is saying that in Om, there are the three half circles, and then there is the fourth. The fourth mora is silent. So between two Om, the space of silence, if we are able to space it out, allow in the beginning one Om, a bit of silence, feel, another Om, bit of silence, feel. One time in that silence, you will drop, and there will be no more Om coming out of your mind. You will just stay there. Your body will get goosebumps. You will know He's there. You will smile. Your face will be smiling, and you are done. You just your work is over. So this chanting has to be integrated into our practice, our Shri Mantra. After the Shri Mantra, after the mind is prepared, a few times of loud Om, if possible. But if you're in public, then just mental recitations of Om till you drop into that space of the loving presence of God. I have written as a very small note, which I spoke of earlier, that this surrender to God in that way, this surrender, this bringing yourself into His presence, can happen only if you have mastery over yourself. If you do not have any mastery over your hands, feet, senses, nothing, who will you call? Who will come there? If you don't have any mastery over your mind, how will you bring your mind into His presence? So that is a practice we have to very gradually, and that is why all the other 24 petals need to be practiced, and gradually we have to get a certain amount of mastery over ourselves, certain amount of commitment, certain amount of rootedness, so that we are able to bring what belongs to us into his presence. So in the beginning, it will be, okay, only 5 minutes belong to me. 5 minutes, nobody is going to disturb me. I'll sit for 5 minutes, 1 minute Sri Mantra, 2 minutes Om, 1 minute silence, I'll get up. At least I got myself for 5 minutes. But slowly during the day, each and everything that we do can be brought into his presence. I will quickly share just one last thing and then over to you. This is the several meanings of Om that I found in a book. Of course, not in a book, it's a commentary by Swami Veda. So, all of this that I'm writing or speaking is Swami Veda's commentary, and it's the most authentic commentary. So, protection. Om means protection. Movement with the triune meaning of knowledge, movement, and attainment. Lustre, pleasure and affection. Satiation, satiety, comprehension, entry, listening, to ask for a favor for one's master or ask the master for a favor. Activity, desire, illumination, gaining, attainment, embracing, violence, giving, sharing, dividing, increase, growth. These are all included in the meaning of Om. And these are only few. There are 36 meanings. So I will pause it here. And though we have overshot our time, but just a few minutes in case you wish to share some feelings for today's being together, and how any questions that come up or anything more that you would wish to know on this, or any support that you would want in the coming week, anything that comes to your mind.
Guruji, before you finish, can we have a little chat? This is when everybody goes and we'll go.
Om. Om means yes.
And Om. Thank you.
Next week, Pavanji, I think a little more on surrender. Because the way I understand it is, it's a very, I understand it in a particular way, and I'm sure that that may not be the correct way, or that may not be a very optimum way of surrender. So maybe you could talk about that.
Even today, for the rest of the week, you could hold it in your mind. We have spoken about it. I'll be sharing these notes so you can look at it.
Yeah.
That the mind, speech, and actions, all three. You remember, man, kram, vachan, dhyan jo lave. Man, kram, vachan, the same thing. Mind, actions, and speech. These three, dhyan mein. First of all, you need to be aware that these three exist, that you're thinking, you're speaking, and you're doing. When you become aware, and then you are able to gather them. Because if they don't belong to you, how will you surrender them? If the mind itself doesn't belong to you, doesn't listen to you, how it doesn't belong to you, what will you go and surrender? Or the speech, you speak whatever comes to your mind, and how will that get surrendered? And same with actions. So the first thing will be to become more self-observant, observing the breath to begin with, then observing the mind or whatever you are doing. Sometimes you are in your cab going to your work. Observe yourself observing that I am seated in such a beautiful world. AC is running, everything is okay, and I'm enjoying the sights. And this is someone's dream. This is God's dream. And I'm a part of that dream, and I'm okay. This is also his, everything is his. Some inner conversation, whatever comes to your mind, or some kind of a saying that, oh, are you enjoying? I hope you are enjoying, or whatever. Or do you want something else? Do you want me to listen to something that you will enjoy, or is this okay? Mostly it will say it is okay because Om always stays in the present moment. It doesn't want you to get split here and there. So you can even say that, Om, look, I'm disturbing you. Or what you.
Anything, yeah.
It's a practice. It is not self-hallucinatory. It is not hallucinatory. It's just a practice. It's a practice of shooting an arrow. And one day the arrow will go through the bullseye. The day that happens, you and him will become one. But it's till then practicing, looking at that and imagining it, thinking about it, like kids play at home. They would have a dart, they will keep playing. Those who are fond of darting, they'll keep on. It's so we have to have that. One more thing that I wanted to really, maybe who will, I hope everybody takes me seriously on that, is all of us here must join a gym at least for 1 month or 2 months. I don't mean figuratively. I mean actually, physically go take a gym membership. I'm not asking anyone to go to the temple, but to the gym. Why? Because when you go to the gym, you see how young people or those people who value their bodies, they are the only people who are in the gym. You see them, how they take care of, how they are so particular about what sets to do after which. Today is the shoulder day, today is the calf day. In the shoulder, this muscle will be with this, that muscle will be with that. Everything they are doing with concentration and with music and with joy. They are not, it's not that they are not liking it, with pride, with joy of the outcome of what they are doing. Only with that we get an idea of how we have to be with our mind. Mind is a muscle. We need to build it. How? Like these people build it in the gym. If you are recommended to do 50 chants of Sri Mantra, then do 50 chants. Don't say, I don't have time. Can I do 5? Yes, you can do 5. Can I do 1? You can do 1. Can't I do anything? Don't do. But the fact is that we are in a process. Now, Ishwar Pranidhan is a cultivated sentiment. We have to cultivate it. So we'll have to weed out stuff from our minds, which is not necessary. We have to stop filling our minds with all the other stuff. Insta, Facebook, rubbish there. What can? Nothing. And then this, and focusing on what we need to do. It's a serious business. So when you go to the gym, you get into the habit and understanding of what is tapas. Then swadhyay will happen. What is swadhyay? How intense has the study to be? Find out which friend of yours has a 16-year-old preparing for board exams, or some student at home preparing for some CA or some exam. Go and watch such a person, or go to a university or a place and just sit down, observe. Remember God, but not in a temple. Just sit there and see how students are running around with fat books, trying to take notes, also laughing. But they show up, they are coming, they're writing. Only then we will understand what Ishwar Pranidhan is. And with tapa, to bring our mind together, to gain strength. How will we gain strength with those 5 fingers that we have spoken? Those 5 fingers need to be exercised. Sometimes Shraddha is not there. You won't be able to hold Ishwar. It will break down. If Shraddha is not there, you will not apply your strength. You will not meditate. You will not even remember. Forget it. Everything will be gone. Ishwara will drop off your hand. So how to exercise the hand? You will learn how do they do it in the gym. So on that, I pause again.
I will leave for.
Please, please, please. We are also leaving. Anyone who stays, who wants to say something.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Priya, Emma, anyone? Hitesh, Nivaji, anyone? Sonia ji.
Pawanji, I missed in between. I will catch up and then I will come back with questions.
Yes. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sonia ji has also been off video today. If she has any questions,
Thank you,
whatever.
Pavanji. It was lovely. Something more on surrender, I would like to listen to next time.
That is true. That is true.
Until
But try to find a way so that you don't have to be off the camera. You have to be present. Of course.
they're most of us off the camera only.
That is what can I say? I cannot say anything.
Yes.
It's
So
but
it
that
works. It works.
doesn't matter.
Everyone.
That's
Yeah.
the whole thing is that you have to take it seriously and practice, because again we will move. We'll keep going from one step to another. But if we are not practicing, we will miss it. And then again, it will not come into the grip. So,
I read so much. Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. So then we should. Nivaji, you have any more comments, or is it in the right direction?
I was just thinking about my own daughters. They are my Bhakti, Shakti, and Mukti. The three of them are my teachers of Ishvara Pranidhana. Because when you're talking about the exercise, when they wake up in the morning and they're doing their weights and God
Yes.
knows what they're doing on Peloton, they use this app called Peloton here.
Yes.
Because they're studying for exams at the moment. So
There
and
you
I
are.
watch them and they're like, Mommy, come and join. Mommy, come and lift this way. And I'm like, no, my shoulders hurt. Excuses all the time. But they force me to do it. And that is just, and then after a while, when you get used to it, it's like, oh, I feel so much better. Like, oh, so they're my teachers.
Fantastic. God bless them.
Thank you, Pavanji.
Fantastic. So,
just two questions. If one is that we were supposed to have that Zoom. I suppose that it's not happening.
Tomorrow, 6 o'clock, we had that. I'll just form a group and we will be there.
One second thing is that at Baglamukhi Dham, how many days it is? 40 days?
It will not take 40 days, about 21 days.
21 days. So from
it's about
that
what,
day,
Pavanji? It's about what?
No, nothing. It's between me and Pavanji, but that was something.
Okay.
Yeah, so 21 days. Okay. That was because I forgot to ask. I thought it was about 40 days. So 21 days from the first day. Okay, fine. Cool. Thank you. That's the only doubt I wanted to clear. Yeah.
Very good. So rest of it will catch up, and
we'll see tomorrow.
We'll see us tomorrow again.
Okay, no worries.
And we will see, some of us come in Hindi, English, both. The same thing. We end up revising and grooving in. It is our own. It's a way of our practice. But fantastic, Emma could join, and thanks to Emma, this happens on every Saturday. Otherwise, we would all be in the Hindi class only. Fantastic. May we have a great weekend ahead.
Yeah,
Thank you,
so
Pavanji.
much. Thank you.
What are you saying, Emma?
I'm just saying thank you for having these sessions.
No,
And
thank you.
I do have a little question. Do you remember when I was told by a transcendental meditation teacher not to say Om? Do you remember this? And I asked you about it. It was quite a few years back. And I keep thinking about this and wondering why she said that. And her reason was that she said that a married woman should not say But I don't understand that at all. And you asked me, okay, how did I feel about that?
I'll tell you. I'll give an answer to that. Now, this is a much, much later. Somebody woke up somewhere and said that a married woman, or even a woman, should not say Om. Okay. Now, look at a good reason. A good reason that I can think of will be Om leads to absorption in God. Om leads to offering everything unto Him. But a married woman, more and more she does that, she will get so absorbed that she might at some point in time develop dispassion and leave her family. So the sages would say, let her not do Om chanting because that can lead to dispassion. Could be a very selfish reason in a highly patriarchal society, but could also be a very sensible reason because otherwise the social fabric itself will break down. There was a time when sannyasis, only men used to become sannyasis. Women never would take sannyas. They would still stay on in the world, take care of the world that God has given them to take care of. Children, after the children, their children, or before that, old grandparents, old parents, parents-in-laws, she would be the substratum of the family, and she still is. So those days they would not want to shake the substratum and would say that for her she is already there. She doesn't need to leave everything and then get absorbed. Would say such things. Well, you can yourself make out how much of strength is there in this statement. The second thing is that what was I going to say? What was the second reason why women should not say Om? Yes. There are some which go ahead and say that Om has a vibration which is near the navel. Om has to be pronounced from the navel upward, and in the navel, in that region below, is the uterine apparatus of the progenitive apparatus of the woman, and that gets hurt. There is a vibration, this, that, and it gets disturbed. I think this is a very lame, very, very lame reason. I have not found anybody, including and up to the founder of Transcendental Meditation, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, a great teacher. He was a student, he was a professor of physics, and then he introduced science into spirituality. He was almost the first one to do that in that time. But he said it, I can only fold my hands. He said it for some reasons and I don't think there is a valid reason. If you go back and ask them, or you go on the website and say, but why should women? See what kind of answers they give. And I'll be curious to know what answers come out, why women should not chant Om.
One,
She
it's
did,
because
she did
it
tell me
generates.
that it was too powerful. She said it was too powerful, and it was like giving a child. Like it was just too powerful.
What does that mean? Nothing. It's so
It doesn't
lame.
matter.
It is not even a reason.
Yeah. In fact, it is a sound of Hiranyagarbha itself.
Yes.
So it can't affect the Garbha. In fact, it
And
can generate and protect it much more than anything else. Om is a single syllable. Sometimes people say that it needs an initiation, but I don't think that is also required because it's the original sound.
it's
It's the same thing as Vedic Vedakshara is not to be chanted by women and all that kind of. But that is
exactly.
pure BS. So
Yes.
I think I will ignore those advices because it's people without knowing the base of it just formed an idea or heard from something, especially if they are not traditional practitioner, then they will pick up an idea and think that that's the right way to go about it. But
If it was like that,
yeah.
one of the rishis, there are 30 commentators on Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, 30, even more. Someone would have said, but this should not be practiced by women. Someone would say that. None.
None.
It's some people who build a cult around. They want some kind of a drama. Then
Yes,
it's a part of the drama.
that is the main thing. Yeah,
but
that you want. So then it creates a mystery, that it creates a mysticism and everything around it.
But Urvesh bhai, having said that, I go back and say this, that since it is coming from the TM tradition, Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, I would fold my hands and bow at his feet because of the level of knowledge he dispersed. He has given us, and the amount of science he's brought into spirituality to understand spirituality as such. And the TM meditation is a great gift for humanity. For him to say Om should not be chanted by women, I would want what has he said why it should not be chanted. I'm sure he would have given a reason, Emma. If you just check it out and share, it would be a great great gift.
Yes. Okay.
I have
Well,
a
I
Mahesh
question to
definitely
this.
feel its
Yogi
power.
said that.
Mhm.
I have a point of view on this. Now, Parvati ji also, when she really wanted to get married or get close to Lord Shiv, she was also sitting and chanting on Om.
This is again a story.
Right or
We do
wrong?
not know. These are all stories. They cannot form the basis of an answer.
Okay.
But the basis will be that within the Rig Veda, there are over 400 rishis who have written the Rig Veda, whose words are there. And out of them, there are more than 70 rishikas, Gargi, all of them. So they must be chanting Om, they must be chanting the Ved
Yeah,
mantras.
it just says that it leads you to renunciation.
That's what I said right in the beginning. But why
Yeah.
should you deny them?
Yeah.
That
Why should and if the sense of renunciation happens, it might happen in a very different way for a householder woman.
and not
She
only
might
that,
find a detachment out of all her actions, and she might let she might get a freedom from the next birth.
yes, and not only that, just merely chanting Om cannot be cannot be the sole way to get to Kaivalya.
Renunciation.
It will not happen like that. Where is Brahmavidya coming in? Where is all the 5 fingers with which you have to chant Om? All the 5 needs to be engaged. So women, if they're chanting just Om to calm their mind down or to remember God or to get God's grace, does not mean that they might, uh, just by chanting Om, whether a man or a woman, will not land up in Kaivalya. It won't. So even that is not rightly attributed to. But now 8:30 happened. We rush to jump into our seats.
Thank you.